Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I will just give it a minute here as I think all of our attendees are just beginning to come on into the session. Definitely would like to welcome you to our first NAWBO NEXTGEN event of 2021. We're very, very excited to have you here, and I hope many more will join us along the way. But my name is Lori Lemon, and I am part of the NAWBO team. Very small and mighty team, a virtual team that helps run our organization. So excited to welcome my friends and colleagues, both Margaret Brown and Michelle Skeena. I will introduce Michelle in just a second, but again, welcome to our first event of this year. We are so excited to be doing these virtual events quarterly for our NEXTGEN audience, and we have a fabulous topic to kick it off. Thrilled that we have both members, NAWBO members, welcome, and non-members. We hope that you will want to come back to many more of our events and potentially join us for many more things. So let me not take up any more time, but let me introduce Michelle Skeena, not only one of my favorite NAWBO sisters, but just really a wonderful person. She's out of our NAWBO Philadelphia chapter. She's a CPA and owner of TMS2. And Michelle, I'll turn it over to you so that you can introduce Margaret.
Thanks, Lori. Welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you here with us this evening. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule. And just right before I introduce Margaret and say a few words about this amazing person that's going to present this evening, I wanted to acknowledge our sponsors that we have in our NEXTGEN community. So I wanted to say thank you to Your Tech Teamer, TMS2 LLC, and DLZP Group. Thank you for your partnership and your sponsorships. I'd also, we can't do this work that we're doing here at NAWBO in the NEXTGEN space in building out what we're building for our NEXTGEN membership without the support of a very passionate and amazing group of committee members. So I'd like to shout out and say thanks to Diana Huff, Sandy Clitter, Anna Welsh, Cynthia Smith, and Aileen Alvarez, and Lisa Brunet. So thank you, everyone, for your commitment to what we're doing. And of course, thank Lori, who leads our team working with us to make what's happening here happening. So I'm going to introduce Margaret, and the way that I'm going to introduce Margaret is first saying she's a dear friend, and she's someone that I met here at NAWBO. And when we met, I think it's been over 5 years now, we just instantly got connected and have been working together in various capacities since we met. She's very committed to business owners through her work in Socialize LA, where she is the founder, and she is a digital, Socialize LA is a full-service digital market training agency. Margaret helps companies, and I've worked with her doing this, with business development by improving stability, likability, and credibility. And she works with them to really enhance their social media platforms and developing profitable marketing systems. She is very passionate about what she does, and she's also very passionate about the social business she created. She has a Flex Your Influence community. She's created a digital marketing planner to make it easier for businesses to do their work around marketing planning. It is a comprehensive guide to achieving profitable online experiences. And today, Socialize LA has really had expansive growth and in helping clients achieve success globally. Margaret travels around the country. She's traveled around the country. She's doing it virtually now, and we can't wait till she gets back to do it, full-fledged in the real thing. And she's given comprehensive training and guidance in so doing during her traveling around the country. So she and her team are amazing. And what even makes her more amazing is she's committed to this NEXTGEN community. And I'd like to thank Margaret because Margaret is providing a scholarship for a NEXTGEN membership. Yay, thank you, Margaret. We're so happy. And so I'm just going to turn it over to you now. You get started on vision building and creating our dreams this evening.
Awesome. Thank you so much to your whole committee. I know this has been such a big lift, a heavy lift to support the next gen of entrepreneurs. And so when this workshop came about, I was just in a place where I was there and they said, Margaret, you do vision boards. Like, I actually live by my vision boards. And so I was excited to be tapped to facilitate this workshop. And so, you know, if you know me at all, you know that I know that creativity and business go hand in hand. And with that said, there are no mistakes. There are no, like, we don't have to like, oh, I tried a vision board and I never looked at it, or I did a vision board and I messed up, or like, there's no shame here. We don't bring any of that into this zone. Hopefully today, what you'll leave with is a better understanding of what a vision board should be. I know that when I first got into vision boarding, I overdid it. I remember I had like just a giant cork board, and I thought I was like doing this like in an extra special way. You know, I upped it up a notch from a poster board. But I overloaded my board with so much. It was a collage. It wasn't a vision board. It was just a collage of things that made me happy, or that I wanted to have in my life. I mean, it was just chaos. And so over the years, I've learned that vision boards do not need to be that complicated. And if you prefer a vision board that has a collage with a million different beach scenes and whatever it is, then that's you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some exercises on what should be on a vision board, and then you make it your own from there. I hope everyone received the template that I created in Canva. If not, I'm going to drop it here in the chat. And with a free account, you can access that in Canva. I also made it perfectly PDF size so you can print it out. So I printed mine out. So let's say I was doing this on paper. I would grab this and then either have photos or magazine clippings or quote cards that I would add to this board. So before we even get to the prompts, I want to just talk about the vision board and envisioning things in your life. And please, I'm going to be monitoring the chat. This is not my first rodeo as it relates to online events. I can do both. So ask questions. You can even, if you have private things, it looks like you can direct message me here. And then we will have questions and answers at the end. But I want to say that I have been in business now for 12 years. And the things that I'm living now, I dreamed these. I envisioned myself doing these, and not in a Michelle, you might want to hit mute. Hello. There you go. So I envisioned a lot of I'm living now. Like, I started the company by myself. And by a show of hands, as I'm telling you this story, or not a show of hands necessarily, but in the chat, do you own your own business, or do you want to start your own business? Or how many years have you been in business? Maybe throw that in the chat for me. And so do that as I'm talking. So when we, myself and I, when we started the company, it was me in my brother's living room. But I would have daydreams, and I would just sit there and I would daydream, and I would say, wow, one day I want to be a place where people work and they can have a totally flexible schedule. If they're parents, they can go to their kids' soccer games and they can pick them up from school and they can go to the school play. And, if they're not parents, then, they travel, they want to travel, they can work from the islands, they can work from Thailand, they can work from Hong Kong. And I will tell you that 12 years later, I have had employees that have done all of that. One of my employees early on she came to me super sad, and I said, "What's up?" And she said, I got an opportunity because her pastime was a scuba instructor. And she said, I got an awesome opportunity to move to Grand Cayman, and I want to take it because I won't have this opportunity again. And I said, okay. I said, "What? That's exciting. Why are you so sad?" And she said, because I have to quit. And I said, oh, okay, because you can't do both. You can't manage your schedule here and there. She said, no, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be out of the country. And I said, no, if you have internet, you can do both. So that's what she did. She worked on the island doing her scuba, and then she also worked for me. These are things that didn't just happen. Like, I realized that all of this stuff, I wanted this to happen, and it did. And so that's how powerful our visions are. And I don't want to say, this is not, this isn't an exercise about manifestation. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that I did daydream this stuff. I wrote it down. I put it on my vision board. And with that mixed with planning and some dedication and, dare I say, hard work, I know that's kind of like a faux pas to some people. Like, oh, no, we don't work hard. I work hard, and I'm not afraid to say it. I don't think that's a bad thing. And so it happened. And so I just want to put that out there. So if there are things that you have thought about before and that you want in your business, start thinking about it. Daydream. Let your mind go there. That's what we're doing today. We are going to allow our minds and ourselves to go places where we're not yet. Okay, so we all have the permission, if we needed it, to just go. If you want to think about big numbers, big money, if you want to think about, whatever it is, this is your vision board. There is nobody here saying, oh, no, that's a little too much. That company's a little too big for your britches. No, none of that. We are going full throttle. So I'm going to go here. We have 15 years in business. Awesome. Own my own business. 15 years, 1.5 years. I would love to start my own business. Excellent. Own my own business. Still a student, but eventually will run my own business. Excellent. Own business, 3 years. Amazing. 6 years. Awesome. Would love to start my own business. Okay, this is great. So I know we have a lot of people that didn't chime in, but we have a nice mix of in business versus going to start our business. And so let's dive in. And for those of you who have already been in business, it's not too late. I'm sitting with my team sometimes and I say, can I daydream right now? And they say, yeah, because I know they love my daydreams because they're like, if she daydreams it, it's going to happen. So I'll daydream and I'll tell them what's on my mind. And these are things that I want for the company, and I allow, I'm 12 years in. There is no status quo here. We are still envisioning next level stuff. So own my business for 2 years, started in high school. Amazing. Wow. Wowie. Okay, cool. All right. So before we even dive into a vision board, now you may watch the replay of this, and forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn that there will be a replay of this, but either way, you will have access to the Canva. I also want to let you know that on the very last page of the Canva template, we have this sheet. And I will go over that as well. It's called the plan, because we all know that a vision is great, goals are great, dreams are great, but we've got to put some steps, some action behind them if we want to make them work. So the vision board is basically the creative process to set clear intentions to getting to your goals and to your objectives. And it's also a reminder to prioritize. Because if you can see here in our Dream Out Loud vision board template, there are 11 prompts. how much attention can you actually give 11 things? So some of this stuff is like 1 year, 3 year, 5 years. Now, we're not going to get into that minute detail together here, but I want to put that out there. I don't want you to say, well, I put all of these on my board and they all need to be done by tomorrow. No, some of these things might be long-term. So before I get into the categories and the basic structure, I just want to say that throw out everything that we've known about vision boards and let's just like be in the moment. And I want you to think about these categories when I go into them and what you would like for your life. And can I just give you, because I've done this before and I've done this myself and I've done this with people, and something that comes up during this moment is you start looking at these prompts and then you start looking at the lack in your life. You start thinking, well, I'm not there yet. I'm not even close to that yet, or this looks impossible. So it's really important that we look at this exercise as a positive, as a, I am like renewed, ready to go, rather than I'm not there yet. Because I will tell you that as women business owners, I've been around women business owners again for a decade or more. And one thing that I know about us is that things that stop us are like comparing ourselves to other people or, just like, okay, well, that's not us. That's not me. Like this is for everyone. And this is your guide. And it doesn't matter where you should be or where you could be, or if you're starting a business and, you feel like you're just not ready, none of that. There's no lack here. This is all, you're surrounded people who believe in you, right? Can I get some rights in the chat? We all believe in each other and we're here to support one another, even if you can't see each other. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. You're the best. So the secret behind a vision board is you've got to see it and feel it, okay? Got to see it and feel it. That's why getting a magazine and cutting out pictures of a yacht and a beautiful home that you one day want and putting it on a board, that's not a vision board. Like, I want you to really embody it. I call this daydreaming. So that's really what I call it. I never really even realized what I was doing was a vision board. I would write goals and then daydream like there was no tomorrow, like constantly. Like, am I even on planet Earth? How often I daydream. I'm giving you a little more insight into my brain than I like, but it's important. You've got to feel it. You've got to own it. You've got to really see yourself there. And then that's how you start creating the vision board. Okay. So who here uses Canva? So you have a few options here. You have this as just a template to make your own vision board somewhere else. First time Canva use that? Okay, Amy, well, you're going to love it. I hope. I think yes, Danielle, Canva is the best. Agree. Megan, love Canva. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it's phenomenal for all things creative. So the reason why I did this is because I know we haven't even gotten into creating your vision board, but you've got to know all the backstory. So I created several different types of templates. They all have the same content. Yeah, I don't think you can see that. But if you flip through the link, you'll see it. And what you're able to do in Canva is you can go to the photos and you drop photos into each of the categories. If you don't see a photo from their free set of photos, just go to Google Images and grab whatever you want. You're not going to be selling this piece of artwork, so this is only for your own personal use. So use Google Images for this project. But I like to have my vision board everywhere. I like to make sure my vision board is on my computer, up in my office, inside of my planner, And I want to see it because it realigns me. Everywhere I go, everything I do, I'm realigned with my vision. Okay, so I hope that helps. But starting in Canva is great because then you can print it out, and then you can take a snap with your phone, throw it on your phone, and that's a powerful vision board. It needs to be visible at all times. So let's get started. I have created 11 categories, and if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat as well. I've created 11 categories. Feel free to change whatever you do not want on this list, okay? Remove, you might say, I only have 4 things on my vision board. Awesome. Make this your own again. So going through the categories, we have health, family, prosperity, relationships, travel, hobbies, culture, me time, skills, aspiration, next level. So I know this is for the woman business owner in mind. You who are starting your company, you who want to get to the next level. But I will tell you from experience that our life outside of business directly impacts our business. And so, and this is like, when you start working on this, this is like a spotlight on your life, where you are versus where you want to be. And so just be ready. It could be a little bit of a roller coaster here, okay? So the topics that directly relate to your business are the culture of your company, next level for your business, aspirations for your business, and then the skills. So in those sections, again, I'm going to go over the business side because the personal side, that's all on you. You know, I put relationships because that's personal. Family, like, it doesn't mean like, oh, you want to, have children. It's not that. It could be like, give your mother and your grandmother a call more often than you do. Things like that. So this is, again, looks different for everyone, but it's there because it matters, okay? Your family are also your friends for a lot of us. So just keep that in mind. Hobbies are so important to the business owner. How many of us our business is also our hobby? Anyone willing to admit that? I know that my business is, yes, exactly. No, okay, Lori, thank you. So I know a lot of us, our business is our hobby. I love work. I mean, I could be working all of the time. There's so many different facets to what I do. But I do have to have a hobby. And so I do get out and do a couple things that are not work related, and it's a good thing. Okay, so like the workplace culture, like how I was telling you, what do you envision? Where are you right now in your business? Do you work alone? Do you have a partner? Do you already have employees? What do you want in the future? Not everyone wants employees. Not everyone wants to have an office in, a corporate building. But what is it that you want for your company? So on another piece of paper, or if you printed this out, you can start jotting ideas of what you want and just start thinking about that. And then moving on, what does next level look like to you and your business? And I want to spend a little time here. Does anybody have a hard time even thinking about what next level is? Or do you know what you want? I want to be on Shark Tank. I want to be at 10 million in revenue. I want to get investors. Like, what is next level to you? Have you thought about it? What is next level to you? Think about that. It's a struggle. Carrie, would you mind typing in what the struggle is to like feel like to know what that next step is? To allow yourself to go there? I know what I want, but I feel like I don't know all the steps to get there. Amazing. That right there is an epiphany, Maya. Seeing the concrete vision, getting above it all. Yes. Okay. So I honestly had a feeling that, I don't want to focus on this is how you get cute and creative to make a vision board. I've given you the tools that you need now to create it. I think our time is going to be better spent with me helping you get into the mindset and into the zone of being able to even dream it and think it. And so, because once you have that, then you can find all the images you need to put together this beautiful vision board. So one thing you should do is do some research in your industry. There you go, Yvonne. That's awesome. And I'm going to also, while I'm telling you this, I'm going to put my LinkedIn. I hope this is appropriate. Michelle and Lori, forgive me again if this is not. But I want you to be able to connect with me because I'm seeing a couple of things coming through that I can easily give you some resources to get to these next levels. So look at the people who have come before you. So if you are a bookkeeper, look at bookkeepers around you. And I'm not saying, oh, copy them, but it is important to see what others have done and how you want to be a little different. Okay, so look at what others are doing. Another thing that you're doing is you're showing up to NAWBO. So for those of you who are so new in your business, I know that you are innovative and amazing, but being in this space around women who have gone before you and who have grown their business, who have sold their business, who have launched a business, who have next leveled their business 3 and 4, 5, 10 times over, these are women that you want to watch. Now, again, I want you to always be your own person, but there's something about watching and learning. And I'll tell you, I started my company when I was 28 and I did not know how to run a company. I didn't know a business owner. How I ever even got into this is beyond me, but it's where I belonged. It's like what I was born to do, I feel. And now 12 years later, do the math. I am 40 years old and I'd not be more grateful to be surrounded by amazing women who I've seen they're just bosses. And I was able to see how they've done things, learn from their mistakes, learn how they hire their first assistant. That's not a very uncommon thing. And there are ways to do it that's not going to be super difficult for you as a first timer. So let's see, payoff. Okay, that's great. Excellent. So looking at what others have done and then thinking, okay, yeah, I'd like to get there. I look at other digital marketing agencies and I can tell you there's a lot of ways I don't want to be, that I'm not interested in doing. So that's another reason why you want to see what other people are doing in your space, because there may be things that you don't want to do in your business. So like for me, having a company, realign yourself with why you started. Why I started was I wanted to do sales and marketing and I wanted to help a lot of people do it, not just one company. And I wanted to be free in my life. I wanted to have total control of my schedule. And that's kind of like where it all started. And then I said, I don't want this just for myself. I want this for my employees as well. And so that's how it starts. So go back to why you started your company. And then I want you to start defining your goals for your company. Like maybe right now, I mean, let's just be real. Maybe every month you're barely making your bills and you're not really taking home an income. So at that point, you may need there's a lot of different solutions, but one of them is, do you need to stop the bleeding somewhere? Or do you need to raise your prices? So you see what I'm saying? Like evaluate where you want to be and where you are, and then you can start building the bridge. So think about that for just a second. Think about something in your business that you know is not working and you want to see it changed. And don't even think about the solution, because you may not even know the solution. But what is it that you want to be changed? Great. Okay. And I want to, someone just sent me a private chat. So please add in your LinkedIn, your Instagram into the chat, because you all want to be connected. We want you to be connected. Be sure to follow NAWBO on Instagram, instagram.com/NAWBO, national, post that you're here, and all of that wonderful stuff. Okay, awesome. Excellent. So are we thinking about what that next level could look like? And this may be something that you can't do in this 1 minute. And what we're doing today is raising awareness that it needs to be done. It needs to be done. The culture of your company matters, even if it's just you. If you are the only person in your business, the culture matters. And if I can just give you my sense, I'm not a business coach. I deal in marketing, but I do know a little bit about business. And the things that you do while you're running your business by yourself could filter over as you bring someone in if you're not careful. So if you have like some bad habits, you want to make sure that you're creating a culture alone that you even want people to take on as they come in. And Lori has also put her email as well. Okay, awesome. Is anybody sparking a vision for their business? Anything new coming up? It's making me think too. What do I want next? Okay, and again, if you don't want it to be public, you could direct message me as well, okay? And I won't share your name. But get a vision for your business. With this many people on, I want to know that at least 5 people got a new vision. I only started with 5K in inventory and have not paid myself for the last 2 years. Today I have 75 to 80,000 in inventory, no major debt, just 30 days on minor inventory. The next level would be to own the land. Amazing. That is awesome. And that's something that has to happen sometimes. As a business owner, you aren't taking a paycheck for, it's not ideal. And if I can also say, make sure you are digging into resources that you have. Lori just put her email. So if you're a NEXTGEN entrepreneur and you're not sure what is your next step or what you should be doing, or, hey, how do I get a paycheck? There could be things that you're not thinking of in your business. So part of our vision planning is also asking for help when we need support in getting from point A to point B. For the third section of your vision board as it relates to your business, it's aspiration. So what is it that you aspire to be as a business owner? Do you want to speak on a big stage? Do you want to be on TV? Do you want to be on Oprah? Do you want to, is Oprah's show still around? Do you want to be featured on the Huffington Post? Think about that. What do you want? And I'm not even asking you to say, why do you want it? That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant, because here we are today in this group. We're all together talking about this. But at the end of the day, you and your visions are by yourself. So I'm glad that 12 years ago, when I was doing my daydreaming and my vision boarding, I showed it to no one. I was accountable to no one. So no one could tell me, oh my gosh, you're nuts. I just thought of things, and that's where it went. One of the other visions that I had was on my vision board was I wanted to travel for work. And oh my gosh, COVID was like I know it's been hard on people, and people have lost their life, and I'm so sorry, and it's been terrible for everyone. But one thing about COVID is that I got to press pause on all the travel that I did. Be careful what you wish for, right? But that was something I really wanted to do, and it happened. And so that's how powerful these things are if you're constantly realigning with them. So the last piece of the puzzle for the vision board as it relates to your business is skill. Now, there's only one box for a skill here. And where do you need to ramp up your skills? Is it in your accounting? Is it something within your trade? Is it within like business management? Because you're a one-person show, you wear a lot of hats. And if you're not super strong in marketing or sales, maybe you need to, take a course on one of those, or take a course in maybe you need to create a business plan if you've never created one, or you have to revise it. So where do you need to build up your skills? It might be easier for you to start your vision board in this quadrant, in the personal side, and then trickle down to your business. Do we have any questions? No? Okay, awesome. Okay, so the other thing is, has anybody started their vision board? Anyone in the chat? Have you actually started working on this in yes, okay, awesome. Awesome. Very good. I'm so glad to hear that. A lot of times in workshops, people listen or they're doing something else and they're not actually doing the worksheet. So this is great. So I'm very glad to hear that. For those of you who have not, this might be something that you want to do on your own without someone speaking at you like I am right now, and that's perfectly okay. All of the tools that you need to do that. I want to move on to inspiration. So for each of these sections, you are going to, what's your aspirations? Where do you want to be? Where do you envision yourself in 5-10 years? Start thinking about that. But it's also important that you fill in your inspiration. Because if you're like feeling overworked or you're feeling overwhelmed, it's going to be really difficult to do this. And it's going to also be difficult to look at it in a positive way on a daily basis. So it's important that you can fill this with not just images that reflect something that you want to be, but also something that you're inspired by. So if you're inspired by, who am I inspired by? I'm not like a starstruck person, so it's going to take me a minute to think of someone who inspires me. I think I'm more a generalized person, but think of things or people who inspire you. So like this New York cityscape, that inspire, yeah, people from NAWBO. Well, anyone, Sandy, anyone in general. But the New York cityscape is inspiration to me. When I see the skyline of New York City, to me that screams, that's where I started my business. So that screams brave, that screams encouraging, that screams next level. That to me is like fuel. The New York City skyline is fuel to me, to my heart, to my body, to my person, to everything that I do. I know, obsessed. So on my vision board, New York City skyline is always on there because to me, that is just everything. Disney, yes. Okay, so Walt, yeah. No, she's saying Disney inspires me. Disney also inspires me. And again, I'm only telling you this because I want you to think back. I'm trying to pull things out of you that are going to help you. So the reason why Disney inspires me so much is because Disneyland has impacted me as a person since I was a little girl all the way up into adulthood. I've worked there 4 times in my life. Yes, 4 times in my life, some very short stints and for just the summer. But when I look at Disney, I think of a little girl full of dreams. I think of family. I just think of happiness. I think of joy. I think of Walt Disney and his entrepreneurial journey. And oh my gosh, I am like fired up. So these things have to exist on my vision board because it reminds me of those, you know, of that feeling and harnessing that into my own life. So Sandy said, I think of business excellence while providing happiness. Exactly. So think of the brands you love. Think of the experiences that you've had. Have you ever traveled somewhere that just like brought out something in you that was unreal? How are you going to add that to your vision? How is that going to be part of your vision board? Okay, so here we are. We're tackling the inspiration part. All right. Think about words, images, colors, things that resonate with you. So I gave you a few examples. You'll notice in the Canva template that there's a few examples of this exact same scene because I wanted you to know that you could change the background. So if you want like a rainbow background, or you love yellow, like throw yellow back there. Again, make it your own with whatever inspires you, okay? This could take up a good hour just brainstorming what you want to put in all of these, okay? So if you're having a difficult time filling in or thinking, you might need to pull up a chair and really figure this, thinking about it, okay? So now that we have started really peeling back the layers of our inspiration and, you know, thought about like, why did I start my business in the first place? And think about the people that you support and that you help. Is it your desire to support more people to make their life easier? I think so, right? I'm looking at this list. Some of you I know, some of you I don't, but I can also see the name of your business. And I'm thinking, you want to support more people. You want to make more people's lives better by the product or service that you provide. So how do we make that happen? What needs to happen for you to grow and scale? Yes, this is the vision. Excellent. So who here is going to choose a more traditional route of a vision board and like map this out on a poster board? Anyone? Poster. Awesome. That's awesome. And you know, when I've done it in the past on a poster board, I just get my phone and I take a photo and then I put that photo everywhere, my planner and stuff. I'm a poster girl, Margaret. Yes. I'll definitely print this. So I love digital. Okay. I have every product Apple makes and because it makes my life easier, but also am a huge believer in paper. I love paper products. And so that's why I think I found a nice balance with Canva and then it printed out. I will start on paper and work my way into Canva. Awesome. That's great. And what's wonderful is that you can use this. So now let's talk about the evolution of your, because we are running out of time and I want to leave room for questions and comments, but the evolution of your vision board is once you have filled in all of these slots, take a look every 3 months, every 6 months, and of course, every year. Has anything changed? If I can be super honest with you, I remember I had a colleague and she said, my goal is to be on Oprah. And I said, oh, that's awesome. And I was super excited for her. And she said, wouldn't that be great? And she's like, and we got to talking, and in the conversation, I said, my goal is to be completely behind the scenes of my company. And I tell this to my team all the time. I always tell them, you know, one day I'd like you to be, you know, facilitating this workshop, or, you know, onboarding new clients, or doing this and doing that. And it's not because I don't love my company, but the vision for my life is not to work 90 hours a week. The vision for my life is to just be present in everything I do, and, you know, I have a lot going on outside of my work that I want to devote time to. And so not all of us have the same aspirations, and that's okay. So your goal might be to like be a chameleon, be outside of your business and have your team doing everything. You may want to one day step down as the CEO of your company and just be a visionary for your company and have a CEO who runs everything. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. This is your vision. This is your life. This is your business. And it is absolutely possible. Okay? So awesome. So the evolution of is to save this and not only update it, but realign with the why. And so the last thing that I'm going to talk about is the plan. So that was the last page of the Canva template plan. I did print it out, but I left it on my printer in another room of this office. So there's a box there, and I want you to journal. I want you to journal and say how you're going to get there. What are the next steps you're going to do? And even put a date. So put a date in there as to what you want to do next. I was 35 when I first traveled outside of the country. And why do I tell you that? I have a lot of colleagues who, you know, traveled very young, 19, you know, backpacking through Europe. And that just wasn't my journey. But at 35, I finally traveled outside of the country, and that was on my vision board. And now traveling outside of the country is a norm for me. I've been to Asia, Africa, Europe. I mean, I'm telling you, don't hold back. Don't hold yourself back because you've never done something. And don't make me cry. Don't hold yourself back because it hasn't happened or you can't possibly even understand how it's going to happen. I'm telling you, get it on paper is the first place it's going to happen. And stay connected to this group. This group is going to help you get to those next levels. I promise you. And even through the waves, you might have this thing filled out and it looks awesome and everything is attainable. But I'm telling you, there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be bumps in the road. There are going to be days that you just do not even feel like being an overachiever. And you don't feel like showing up for the day. And sometimes you still will have to. And other days, you just pull the covers over, take a long nap. This is the long game, folks. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is not a sprint. We're here to stay. Thank you, Sandy. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Heidi, that is a very good question. And my vision board is at my office. and I do not have it on me right now. I took it out of my planner. I'm like, I have to have all of my documents and my notes. That's the one thing I didn't. So if you want to see my vision board, I will send it to you. Connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll send it, or you can also connect with me on Instagram and I will DM it to you as well. Okay? Because I definitely want to show you how I do that. One thing I do have to show you is my Maggie morning. So I have a thing that I do every morning, and one of those is looking at my vision. And so I think about my vision. I envision my day. I envision what I want to do. I daydream about something. Like, my next trip to New York, what's going to be like? Where am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Where am I going to stay? But the vision board is just one thing. The next step is how you are going to get there. And that's what the plan is. So I also recommend for all of our overachievers here to make yourself some type of an accountability list. So that way you are always remembering to look back at your vision board and your plan. Okay? So you have my Instagram, you have my LinkedIn. Do not be a stranger. I'm not just saying that. Like, if you know me here, you know that I'm here to support, and I'm always around. So do we have any questions? Michelle, am I opening it up too early, too late?
You're good. So, Margaret, I was gun shy there. We have a few minutes for questions.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions, there's a couple different ways of doing it. You type them into the questions box for sure. You can see that or chat. Or if you're brave enough, if you'd like, if you raise your hand, we can promote you to the stage and we can see you and hear you, and Margaret could address your questions, however you would like to do it. And while we're seeing if there are questions, I also want to let you know, we'd love to get feedback from you all. This is the first, session that we've done this year. Margaret, of course, did some job, which we knew would be the case. She's so passionate about vision boarding and does it so well. But I will put in the chat a link to a quick questionnaire, nothing big, but we'd love to get some feedback, know a little bit more who you are, and also, if you like this event, what other types of topics you'd like to hear about. So I'll put that in the chat.
We have a question on how people can get the chat afterwards.
That's a good question. I know, let me find out about that. I know it saves, so we will save the chat,
Okay.
but I'll make a note to follow up on that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. And
While we're waiting.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Please.
I was just going to say, for those of you who don't know, I also support NAWBO National and their social media efforts. So if you follow or post or do a story about our event today, I will definitely repost it to all of our followers and all of that. So we do our best to be super engaging, and we appreciate all of the extra posts and stuff.
Fabulous. Okay, well, we've got a couple of other NAWBO announcements. If see if we have any other questions that are coming. We do have some time to connect after this, so I want to let you know as soon as we end this session in just a few minutes, we'll open up the lounge. And if you look at your screen, it should be a button on the left-hand side that would say lounge. And there are tables. When you go in there, you just click on a table, and that puts you in there. And it's up to 8 people, I think, at a table. And we'd just like you to connect. I mean, no huge agenda. Introduce yourself, where you're located. If you have a business, what is your business? Or if you're thinking about one or future, you're a student, let us know. But very quick, just so that everybody can meet each other. And then if you want a fun question, my favorite is that if you were stuck in a TV show for a month, which one would it be? That always lends itself to some interesting conversation. And then you can switch up tables. We have it set for about 30 minutes, but we can leave the link open if people are having some great conversations. So we'd love everybody to meet each other, have time to connect, and we will do that in just a few minutes.
Lori, there's a question
Yes.
that I think is going to Margaret. I was just wondering what your biggest piece of advice you have for a college student who wants to start a business. But we'll let you take it, Margaret.
Okay.
All right.
I would say whatever the business is, idea, start looking at the space now. But here's my my word of wisdom for that. When you look at what other people are doing, don't let that put you into a box as to how it needs to be done. So that's the only caveat. But definitely look and see what others are doing in the space, and then start making your list of what needs to be done. Maybe even if you're thinking about a name, grab the domain, grab Instagram handles, grab the handles. Reach out to someone in this community and figure out, like, what do I need to do legally to start a business? I don't know what your business is. So if it's a product-based business, it might be a little more involved than a service business. But now is the time to, if you're like not there ready to do it just yet, start thinking about what steps it's going to take. Start envisioning what you want it to look like, what you want the company to like. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you,
Perfect.
Margaret.
Absolutely. And one other thing we'd love to mention, for those who are not NAWBO members, especially if you're in the NEXTGEN category of membership or are thinking about it, I know we've mentioned the community, the support that NAWBO provides. Many of the women on this session are NAWBO members, and they can certainly explain what they've gotten out of our organization. But as a NEXTGEN, a new member, if you're a new member joining NAWBO and NEXTGEN, it's $75 for the first year, and that is good if you join during March and April. So we'd love to have you. We're really, really focusing on our NEXTGEN programming, our NEXTGEN events. We put some in the chat. May 18th, save the date. We'll do another virtual session like this, more details to come. And then we'll have our NEXTGEN Forum, our virtual conference, October 5th and 6th. We're really looking forward to that. We're going to have some amazing speakers and panels and help people work on either their business or their business idea. So, Michelle or Margaret, anything else?
I just want to give a huge thanks again to Margaret for taking her time today to present this topic to us. It seems from the chat, Margaret, it was very well received. So thank you for dedicating your time. We at NAWBO love you. We love Margaret, and we love the inspiration that you provide. Thanks, Margaret.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
I love being a part of this community.
Thanks so much, Margaret, as well. Wonderful session, great information. Thanks to everybody for participating in the chat. We love to see that. Thank you, Michelle, and other members of our NEXTGEN committee who are on. I'll go and end the session. And basically from here, again, you click on the lounge button. And if you'd like to do some connecting, again, go introduce yourself. Tell us about your business and maybe what your favorite TV show is if you got stuck in it for a month. So otherwise, we will see you on May 18th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And thanks so much for spending time with us today. Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.